Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Press Box, where we give you our thoughts and views and we lay it all on the table. I'm Timmy,
And I'm Steven.
and we are here to answer the call. Good morning, guys. Happy Thursday, October 24th. This month is already almost over. It is almost Halloween. We are here on a Thursday. We got a lot to talk about. We got history being made last night. We got college games coming up tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday. We got Thursday night football, and we have lots of other news. We got lots of other news that we're gonna share with you guys. So we got a lot to talk about, and we don't want to waste any time. We actually want to get started right away. And yesterday, Steven here, he shared something that most people don't want to hear, and that's a player retiring in college. And I'll let Steven go ahead and take it away with a little bit of that.
Yeah, so NC State QB Grayson McCall is unfortunately retiring from football. He suffered a concussion against Wake Forest on October 5th. He actually had to be carted off the field. He was knocked unconscious, and after consulting with a brain specialist and doctors and his family, he's made the difficult decision to retire from football due to concussions and other injuries. Props to him for actually doing it. I know we talk a lot about concussions and that type of thing and how serious they are, but to see a kid that's 22, 23 years old have to retire from the college ranks because of it, it kind of puts it into perspective.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'd actually like to take this time to read a little bit of what he said. He said, "Unfortunately, my dream has been cut short. As all you know, I battled injuries my whole career, but this is one that I cannot come back from." He suffered a concussion. He got hit real hard in his very last game with NC State. So this is one I can't come back from. I have done everything I can to continue, but this is where the good Lord has called me to serve in a different space. Brain specialist, my family, and I have come to the conclusion that it is in my best interest to hang up the cleats. As I feel my whole world is being taken from me, I feel some sense of contentment. Every time my feet hit the grass, I left every single ounce of myself on that field. I always played my hardest and the best of my ability because I never knew what play was going to be my last. I have no regrets throughout my career, and that is something I can be proud of. I want to use this time to show my appreciation to everyone who has been along for the ride, to my family, friends, teammates, fans, and all the coaches who have poured into me over the years. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Without you all, none of this would have ever been possible. I look forward to taking my passion and love for the game into the coaching space to serve and lead the next group of kids with a dream. End quote. Real heartwarming speech right there that he wrote. I'm not gonna lie, guys, that actually gave me chills reading it. So he did. He said, "Hey, I've taken one too many, and the doctors are telling me that I should hang this up." And like Steven said, kudos to him because if you play football, if you play sports in general, but if you play football, you almost have that competitor mentality. Like you always want to be on the field. So kudos to him. He said, "Hey, this is dangerous for my health long term. You can't take too many concussions and be okay." And so he got out, and he's going to pursue a coaching. And he was a quarterback. I look for him to be probably like an offensive coordinator. I bet he could dial up some plays. So it'll be real interesting to see just what happens moving forward. But our thoughts are with him and his family, and I hope that he has a great long coaching career if that's the road that he chooses.
Yep, for sure. And fortunately, I only suffered one concussion, and it was my junior year of high school. So I don't really know what the multiple concussion thing feels like, but I know what one concussion feels like, and it wasn't fun.
Right.
So kudos to him for hanging it up, and I think we're starting to see a trend of where players are trying to take their health more seriously. Patrick Willis was a great linebacker, and he hung it up at like 27 years old.
Luke Kuechly.
He was, Luke Kuechly, Andrew Luck. They're starting to take the stuff a little bit more seriously, and I feel like they should. Football lasts for a very short period of time. I think.
Yeah.
The success rate in the NFL is like of people that actually make it more than like 3 years, 4 years is like 5% or something like that, 5-6%.
Wow.
Last time I looked.
Wow.
So to realize that there's more after football, and that you're gonna have a family and all kinds of stuff.
Right.
It's good to see that.
Yep. For sure. We got started on that. We are actually going to talk to you guys about history being made last night, okay? We're going to switch gears a little bit. We got the little touchy, heartwarming story out of the way. Now it's time. History was made last night, y'all. And we were both wrong. Probably like everybody in America was wrong.
Yeah, we were.
Kennesaw State Owls beat the undefeated Liberty, and it is their first win as a FBS school. They made history with the first win against good old Liberty. Good old Liberty, buddy. Huh.
Yeah. This is not one I've seen them winning, but kudos to Kennesaw State. I'd actually like to go back and look at some of the stats from this game because obviously I didn't watch it.
Well, it was a pretty good game. I think the last time I saw it was 21-17.
Ooh, yeah, that's not. It's not bad.
Let's take a look. See, I got this pulled up here. Let's check out this box score. 27-24. Okay. So Liberty, 22 of 40 passing, 206 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Decent running. They had some people running the ball. Also had a fumble. Okay. What did Kennesaw State do though? What did they do? That's 16 of 20 passing, 189 yards, only 1 touchdown. Yeah, no. I mean, they didn't have mind-blowing stats. And this right here, guys, I mean, and we do talk a lot about, undefeated teams being ranked. Well, this is a good example of why just because you're undefeated doesn't mean you deserve a ranking. Liberty got snuffed out of the top 25 this week, and it's just one of those that I feel they should have, I don't know, they shouldn't have been ranked, and they got beat by a winless team. So, I don't know. I mean, many people would have said Liberty should have been in. Well, Kennesaw State said, I don't think so. And they got their first win. They switched from FCS to the FBS, at the end of the 2023 season. So this was their first, I think it's their first year. Maybe they were in it last year and they just didn't win last year. But this is the first win as the FBS school. Good job, Kennesaw State.
Yeah, good job.
I just dropped my pen.
Great job.
All right, all right. So we got Kennesaw State making history, guys. A lot of other players, a lot of other teams are probably going to be making history. We got some college games. We got big top 25 matchups. And then we got some, that are just kind of meh, whatevs. We're gonna start off with tonight's game. On the college side, okay. We have Syracuse taking on Pitt, undefeated Pitt. Syracuse at Pitt. I don't even know what the line is. I didn't look at it. I don't care what the line is. I have my pick. I want to hear yours.
I am gonna look at the line because I'm just that way.
Oh, see what? In college, lines almost don't mean anything. Almost. I mean, there are some games you're like, okay, yeah. Oregon over Purdue last week, yeah, but I mean, look, a couple weeks ago, Bama was favored by a lot versus Vandy, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So you just never know. You never know.
So Pitt's favored by 5.5.
5.5
At home.
at home, undefeated Pitt taking on Syracuse.
I'm gonna go Syracuse for the upset here.
Oh, we actually agree on this one. I really thought you were going to pick Pitt. I like Syracuse here. I know Pitt's undefeated and it's at home. But I think more rounded. I think the Syracuse team is more rounded than Pitt. I could be wrong on this. But yeah, I definitely like Syracuse on the road. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like just from their national statistics, like their national ranking on like points allowed per game, they're pretty close. Total yards per game, they're pretty close. Pass yards per game, they're really close. Where it starts to get a little ugly is the rush yards per game. Syracuse is 121st, Pitt's 51st, and then yards allowed per game is pretty close as well. Syracuse is giving up 355 yards per game. Pitt's giving up 353, and the turnover differential, they're both +2. And then obviously Pitt is scoring 40.8 points per game, and Syracuse is scoring 33.8. So really not a ton difference there. 7-point difference. But yeah, I think Syracuse just blows Pitt out of the water when it comes to passing yards per game.
And that sometimes that can be the deciding factor. So we both like Syracuse here. I actually wasn't going to talk about the other two games. So that's tonight's game. I wasn't actually going to talk about the other two games on tomorrow night's game. We're going to talk about the Boise State UNLV game. I wasn't going to talk about the other two, but in case you guys just need a football game kind of early, Louisville takes on Boston College on ESPN2. Man,
Louisville's favored by 7.5.
Yeah, at Boston College. I like Louisville here. They went toe to toe with Miami last week, and honestly, they were just a play away from tying up the game or maybe possibly beating Miami. So I like Louisville here.
Yeah, I like Louisville as well. I just
also.
Oh yeah, I like Louisville as much as I want to pick Boston College. I feel like it'd bite me in the butt.
So it's a late game because it's a West Coast game, but Rutgers takes on USC on Fox at 10 o'clock Central Time. So, I mean, if you're on that East Coast, it's a real late game, but if you don't have anything doing, that's another game. At at the beginning of the season, clear cut, it would have been USC. And then 4 weeks into the season, I would have picked Rutgers. But now, I don't know what to do. Both teams are struggling. Rutgers have actually lost 3 straight after starting 4-0. They're traveling across country. I don't know. If Rutgers can get their run game going, like they did in the first 4 weeks, and control the clock, they can win. I don't know if they can do that. Man, I don't know. Who do you got in this one? USC's favorite 13.5, but
It actually has went up. It's 14 points. USC favorite.
oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna go USC at the Coliseum.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the only reason I'm going USC. Other than that, they're pretty much.
Yeah, if this game was at Rutgers, I might lean a little bit toward the Rutgers, but playing at the Coliseum, that is a loud stadium. So, all right. But here's the game that I want to see on Friday night. This is the one that I want to watch, and I'm actually going to have to record some of it because, it don't come on till 9:30 Central Time.
Yep.
9:30 Central Time. We have the 5-1 Boise State Broncos going to Vegas, taking on UNLV, who is 6-1. Boise State's favored by 3.5. I don't care if UNLV was favored by 7.5. I'm telling you right now, Boise State's going to go to Vegas. Go to the doesn't UNLV play at Raider Stadium?
Yeah, Allegiant Stadium.
Yeah, they're going to go to Allegiant Stadium, and they're going to, they're just going to unleash their little personal bucking Bronco, Ashton Genty, all over that defense.
Yeah, I got Boise State in this. UNLV is giving up 384 yards per game. They're allowing 22 points per game. Boise State averages 523 total yards a game.
My man over here busting out some stats for us.
And we just, it looks like UNLV is kind of a run team too. We average 289 yards. Boise State does, second in the nation. UNLV is 251 yards a game for sixth in the nation. So the only stat they really, really beat us in is turnover differential. They're plus 12, we're plus 1. But I still like Boise State here. I think they have the better team, and they got Ashton Genty, they could just get up and run him ragged.
Gosh, he is a lot of fun to watch.
He really is. He really is. And this is a game I will be watching. I will be staying up, and I will be watching it.
Our man Steven here. Steven actually just, made the leap that to the same TV provider that I have, which is YouTube TV. And he says that he can actually watch a little bit more college games now that he has some of those college channels like the SEC and the Big Ten. So it'll be real interesting to see what he says about this come Monday. So I'm excited. It's a good weekend of college football. A lot of top 25 matchups. This one has a top 25 team, but Nebraska at Ohio State, and
oh my goodness, I just seen the line on this one.
Oh boy,
Ohio State is favored by 25.5.
Holy crap! Gum.
That is actually insane.
For a 5-2 Nebraska team.
Okay, but now I kind of see why. Nebraska gives up. No, they only give up like 304 yards per game. Like,
are you seeing all this at? Oh, preview.
Yeah, preview, go to stats, and then all the way at the bottom, it'll
Okay.
tell you
Okay.
what
Well,
rank they are and how much.
well, I'm gonna tell you right now. It doesn't matter if they were the best defense in the league. Ohio State's offense is high powered. This is a home game. Will Howard is at home. I don't think he's going to make a bonehead last second sliding call as time expires. I like Ohio State here. It's not even close. Even if I didn't know the line, I would have, because it's a home game. Now, if this would have been in Nebraska, I might have swung, but I like Ohio State here.
Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
He's thinking, like, does he really want to start it off with, like, disagreeing with me on this game, or does he want to save it for one of the other games? Because he realistically is going to pick Ohio State, but I feel like he's like trying to be like, do I throw a curveball?
I'm trying to rationalize picking Nebraska, and I can't do it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Ohio State here. You know, as good as Nebraska's defense is, it's not good enough to stop that high-powered
I'm
OSU
just gonna
offense.
say, look at what Indiana did versus Nebraska last week. That should be enough.
Well, the thing that really got me was OSU's record versus the spread is 2-4, and the spread right now is 25.5 points.
Fair.
And that 1 week, 2 weeks ago, there was a whole bunch of high spreads, and we picked, most of it we picked the favorites, and there was a lot of upsets. So I was like, is this another week of upsets? But I'm gonna go Ohio State.
Okay, so we're both agreeing. Washington at Indiana. Undefeated Indiana. I mean, Indiana's only favored by 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
Washington hasn't been as good as we thought they were. Okay, they got to the national championship last year, but this ain't the same Washington team. We say this isn't the same Michigan team. Well, this isn't the same Washington team, and they lost their coach. They lost their head coach. He's now the head coach of Bama. So,
yeah, I'm gonna go Indiana here. They're just they're better in every single way. They average 48.7 points per game. Average 512 yards of offense per game.
I
just
wanted to try and pick Washington. I just think that right now Indiana's toughest opponent remaining is Ohio State. Okay.
And I'm not sure that they don't beat Ohio State.
Well, I would want to see where that game is at. I want to see where that game is at. Because if it's in Indiana, oh boy, could that be an upset. But I mean, would that really be an upset? Because I mean, Indiana's been playing pretty good ball.
I mean, I'm just looking at Indiana's national rankings. First in points per game, 7th in points allowed, 5th in total yards, 11th in pass yards, 23rd in rush yards, 6th in yards per game allowed, 13th in turnover differential. That is some pretty impressive stuff right there.
Okay,
they're top 25 in everything.
We gotta burn through some of these now. Those were kind of more the better matchups of the lesser, but we gotta burn through some of these because we still got the big matchups and we still got Thursday night football for y'all. And I do like Indiana, and the coach says all I do is win. Google me. All I do is win.
All I do is win.
OU takes on Ole Miss. It's at Ole Miss. Oh, dear Lord.
Oh, I just seen the spread for this game.
That's what I was saying. Oh, dear Lord. Yeah. I think we both agree on this one. I'm just going to write our initials both on Ole Miss because...
Yep. Yeah, the
OU,
fact that they're 20-point favorites over OU is
OU is
insane.
not built for the SEC. They need to go back to the Big 12 or whatever. This is not your guys' this year. We've been saying it all week, guys, or all year. I've been saying it. OU's not cut out for this. So Ole Miss definitely has a really high-powered offense, and I don't care if it's Jackson Arnold. I don't even know the other Michael Hawkins Jr. I don't care who the quarterback for OU is. You're not getting past Ole Miss here. Georgia Tech versus Virginia Tech. It's a home game for the Hokies. And one that I'm just going to go ahead and put my initial behind Virginia Tech.
Really?
Yeah, I like Virginia Tech. Their offense is really good. Bayshul Tootin. I learned how to pronounce his name, by the way. Bayshul Tootin. He had 266 yards rushing last week. Look for them to lean on him. He's a big physical running back that can just wear that defense down. I like Virginia Tech at home.
Yeah, Virginia Tech at home's probably the way to go there. Unfortunately.
We got the BYU Cougars taking on UCF at UCF.
BYU?
BYU.
Yeah, I'm going to go BYU there.
Oh, UCF is favored by 2.5. What?
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm going to go BYU there. They're undefeated.
UCF, I don't know. They'll win a game that they shouldn't, and I hope it's not this one.
Right.
So, Oregon State and Cal.
Oregon State and Cal?
Yeah. Cal's favored by 10 at home.
Yeah, give me Cal there at home.
Give you Cal? Okay. Screw it. We gotta have a disagreement somewhere. I'm gonna take Oregon State. I like Oregon State. I think they're a little bit better than what their record shows. And I mean, it's not like they're traveling very far. They're traveling from Oregon to Cal. I mean, so. I don't know. I just like I like the Beavers. Okay, I like them Beavers. Well, guys, the curse has not been broken because the Florida State fan that allegedly ate dog poop didn't eat dog poop. He did it, to help raise money for the unhoused community in Tallahassee. He actually swapped it out with the chocolate candy bar. And he came out and admitted that and he didn't think that so many people would believe it. So the quote unquote curse of Florida State is still there. I don't care if they're cursed, not cursed. Miami at home with Cam Ward the way that he's playing. I mean, he's a Heisman winner, not a Heisman winner, but he's a Heisman finalist. I mean, he could be in the Heisman running. So I like Miami.
Yeah, I like Miami. It's at home. I don't even think if it mattered if it wasn't at home, I'd still like Miami.
Let's see. I'm trying to find that line though.
It's Miami's favored by 21 points.
Miami by 21. Yeah. No. All right, so we both agree on that one. Michigan State versus Michigan. I actually like Sparty here. Give me the Spartans. Michigan is not the same team that they were last year. They're struggling to find their identity. Michigan State, didn't Michigan State pull up an upset last week? Yeah, they did. I like them to go ahead and go to Michigan, Ann Arbor. Not very far, probably just across the lake, and come out with a win.
Yeah, I like Michigan here. They're at home.
Oh.
Enough said.
No, Michigan at home. Cincinnati takes on Deion Sanders led Colorado. I'm going to go ahead and take Colorado here. And because I take Colorado, this will be where Colorado loses.
Yeah, I'm going to go Colorado here as well. And hopefully it doesn't bite me in the butt again this week.
A couple weeks ago, we picked Colorado and they lost. So then next week we picked, we picked Arizona last week, and they came out and showed us who was who. So, all right, guys, we got the big matchups now. These are the games that we're going to kind of talk about a little bit more because it means a little bit more. First up, Notre Dame Fighting Irish taking on Navy. Can Navy keep their perfect season going? Navy has a tough matchup this week, guys. Notre Dame is no joke. They are no slouch of an opponent. I feel like if Navy can control the ball, control that clock, okay? And I know that can be said in a lot of games, but like Navy runs that option offense, okay? If they can get that run game going and just chew up some of that clock, they have a good chance. Now they are 13-point underdogs at home versus Notre Dame. Who do you got?
Yeah, give me Navy here.
Oh, Navy.
Yeah, Navy's at home. And really, here's what it boils down to: the Navy's rushing, and then Notre Dame's record versus the spread is 1-6. So, not very good against the spread.
Is that in the preview as well?
Yep. If you go to season performance, it says season record versus the spread, record outdoors. The only game Notre Dame has lost this year was an outdoor stadium. So,
Okay.
Navy's 5-0. Home and away, they're 4-0. Navy's on a 6-game win streak, so their rush yards per game is 274. This has all the makings of Navy just running it all over Notre Dame. So give me Navy here.
Navy. He likes Navy, guys. He likes the midshipmen. Right? They're the midshipmen?
Yep.
Okay. I was going to say, I was going to feel really dumb for a second if it wasn't. Oh my goodness. And I thought I knew who I was going to pick. Like, I came up with, all this last night, and I thought about it throughout the week. I like Navy, and I really love what they've done this season. I don't know if they can beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame, I can tell you this, their head coach probably has not slept a lick this week. I bet Coach Freeman has been up all night because he is scared. He's scared of Navy because everybody right now should be. Navy is undefeated, and it's the first time that they've done it in a long time, this far into the season. With that said, Notre Dame, I root for you because my Irish roots, and I'm going to go ahead and root for you in this one. I like Notre Dame. Navy has had a great season. I just think that now they're going to face Notre Dame. Now, if they pull this out, so Army and Navy, their only real game is against Notre Dame. Like rest of the way, the rest of their schedule, I think the only game both Army and Navy have is against Notre Dame. So, if Navy pulls this upset out, Maybe Army needs to take a little play, like take notes on that, and that way they can just go ahead and beat them and stay undefeated as well. But I think Notre Dame will catch the win here.
Mm-hmm.
No interesting.
I mean, it's something. I think it's wrong, but to each their own.
All right. Next up, we have Penn State taking on Wisconsin. Let me tell you, Penn State isn't careful here. They find themselves on the wrong side of an upset this week, all right? The wrong side of the upset. Badgers have kind of been a little sneaky good here lately, all right? They've been sneaky good this year, and this is a home game for the Badgers. Badgers will need to protect the ball if they want to win, okay? Just protect the ball. I don't know, man. Penn State, are they who we think they are?
Yeah. This is a game Penn State should win. And that's who I'm going to go with.
They should win.
As good as Wisconsin is, I don't think they have what it takes to stop Penn State.
The Badgers versus the Nittany Lions. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I just don't know. All right. I like Penn State. Overall, I think Penn State has the better team. And now this could get this could be an interesting game. I look for it to be a very physical game. Both defenses are going to try to shut down the run. So this is one that Penn State should be able to go up to Wisconsin and come out with a win. But Penn State, beware, because you could be, on the wrong side of an upset this week. So the wrong side of an upset. All right. Next up, we have Illinois taking on Oregon. It's at Oregon. It's at Oregon. And the line is crazy.
Hold on. I want to see this.
Oregon favored by 21.5.
Holy crud.
Yeah.
I mean, it is at home. It is at home, I guess.
This is a home game for the Ducks. Eugene will be jam-packed for this one. They're going to be jam-packed. The Oregon Ducks, they're doing something that they haven't done since 2012, and that is be undefeated this far in the season. They're favored by 21.5 at home versus Illinois, and that actually kind of surprises me. That surprises me a little because, Illinois just beat Michigan. And I know Michigan's not the same, but this is still in Eugene, still at one of the loudest stadiums in college football. And it's real interesting because they don't have the stadium capacity that, a Penn State or a Michigan has. But the structure and like the way that it's laid out allows for just that sound just to just kind of like stay in that stadium versus, travel out. Kind of like Arrowhead Stadium. I mean, I think it can hold what, like 72,000? But just
it's like 66.
Oh, 66, 70,000. Okay, so but the way that it's shaped, if you've ever been to Arrowhead, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't,
yeah,
it's just like the way that it is structured. It is so freaking loud, guys. I like the Ducks here. I don't think an upset is on the Ducks' radar this week. I like hey, I like Illinois, and I like what they're doing. Over the years, Oregon, has kind of been one of the teams that I've always rooted for. I was a big Marcus Mariota fan when he went to Oregon. I became a Justin Herbert fan when he was at Oregon, and then he went to the Chargers. So, Dylan Gabriel is a great quarterback, and I just think that once that Oregon high-powered offense gets going, you're not going to slow them down. So,
yeah, I'm going to go Oregon here. It's at home. They have a high-powered offense.
now if this game was in Illinois,
I'd still pick Oregon.
I'd actually might consider picking Illinois, but the fact is, it is a home game for the Ducks. Ducks have been pretty good this year. 7-0. So
Oregon's just the all-around better team. I feel like.
Well, and I don't know the coach of Illinois, but probably a better coach.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
And as much as I like what Illinois has done this season, I think this is where it all comes crashing down, unfortunately.
And sorry, top 25. You lose this one, and you'll be out of the top 25. That's
unfortunately.
So
because they've had a great season so far, they just haven't played anybody like Oregon, and this is not a game Oregon loses.
All right, guys. The next 3 games. Oh, we got 3 games. We got 3 games in the college, and we still have Thursday night football, guys. Holy crap! I'm excited. Oh, I'm excited for the next 3 games. The next 3 games are SEC matchups, and I actually hope that there's a couple upsets in this, but. First up is Missouri taking on Bama. Missouri taking on Bama. Bama is favored by 16.5 at home. This top 25 showdown in the SEC has all the makings of a great game. All the makings. Missouri will need to attack fast and often if they want to beat the Crimson Tide. Bama is favored by 16.5, like I just said. I think that's a little high. I don't like that they're favored by 16.5. I think that should be a little closer. I don't know, maybe like 10, maybe 9. I don't know. 16.5 kind of seems a bit much to me.
Yeah, 16.5 is kind of crazy when you think that Missouri only gives up 15 points per game.
Right. So, according to this, that means they're going to give up more than what their average allows, and then they're not going to score any points. Yeah, I don't know. 16.5. I mean, it is at Alabama. That is a real
16.5. 16.5 is insane.
Now I will
literally insane.
I will say if this was a night game in Tuscaloosa, I can understand because I don't know, for some reason, when you go to Tennessee or Alabama at night, something about those, you go to LSU at night. Those night games in those stadiums tend to be kind of harder for the visitors, but this is an afternoon game. Missouri, will actually be able to be awake and not, be tired by, from travel and all that. I don't know. I'll let you take your take first, and because I don't know, I'm still kind of torn.
Yeah, I like Missouri here. They're 9th in the nation at 273 yards per game allowed. Alabama is actually 58th. Alabama gives up 351 yards a game.
Wow.
Yeah. Mizzou is averaging 422 total yards of offense per game. I just, points allowed. Missouri gives up 15. Alabama gives up 21. I just think this has all the makings for a Missouri win. If it was at night, I'd probably pick Alabama, but I think Missouri has a real chance to go in there and upset number 15 Alabama, which will ultimately knock them out of the top 25 or should.
Well, should. You know, I'm really torn on this one, guys. Like, I really am. I can't sit here and act like I'm not, because on one hand, like, I want to pick Missouri. On the other hand, like, I'm like, oh, Bama, should realistically win this. Anything can happen, and I don't know. Looking through this, I don't see a whole lot of upsets yet. That kind of has me nervous. And then you get to this, and it's SEC, and anything can happen. And Missouri's not like Oklahoma. Missouri's been in the SEC for a couple years, so they're used to this style of play. This is probably one of the best Missouri teams that I've seen in recent years. Quarterback Brady Cook is no joke. And I don't know. Yeah, give me Roll Tide. I like Bama in this one. I like good old Bama. And they'll be singing Sweet Home Alabama. So,
Really?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we'll see.
Now, I don't think it's the 16 and a half. I think it's like a field goal game, okay? But I think Mr. Ryan Williams, he's gonna stay off TikTok this week and show up to play.
Really?
Hey, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, AJ McCarron said that this team now, this Alabama team seems like they're too effing worried about TikTok. I don't know, don't care. I like Bama in this one. Guys, okay. Guys, listen to this. Listen to this. Vanderbilt is like the ultimate troll right now, because they set up a temporary netting in the visitor section for Texas. Okay, it is Texas versus Vandy, and they put up a dadgum temporary net right in front of the visitor section, so none of the Texas fans can throw bottles on the field this week. I like it. I think that's funny, and they actually may keep it for the Tennessee game. So, I like it. I like it, but all right, we got Texas and Vandy. Okay, Texas and Vandy. Good old Cinderella Vanderbilt, who beat Bama, beat Kentucky, beat Ball State. They're on a 3-game winning streak. Listen here, though. Vandy has been on a hot streak ever since they beat Bama. No one can deny that, okay? This is a home game for them. But that's the only thing going for them. No net. They come into this game as 18.5-point underdogs. Texas got embarrassed last week. Got embarrassed in front of the nation, okay? Georgia came in and smacked them around. Took the horn straight off of them, okay? Dehorned the Longhorns is what Georgia came in and did. They got embarrassed. Texas is the better team. And after getting embarrassed, I look for Texas to bounce back, because Steve Sarkisian is going to be like, fellas, you embarrassed me, and I don't like it. And I just think that Texas is the better team. And this is going to be one that they go to Vanderbilt and say, hey, Vandy, I know you beat Bama here, but Bama's not Bama. And Texas is going to remind everybody that, last week was just a fluke.
Interesting.
Interesting.
This one's tough for me.
It's tough?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Everything in me is telling me that the hangover continues for Texas.
Oh, okay. I
They're
see.
going to a tough Vanderbilt team at home that just manages to do the unthinkable.
Oh, okay.
Give me Vandy here.
Wow, he said, "Give me Vandy here."
They're at home. You know, every time Vandy's been counted out, they performed. I think this is another one of those. Texas has a little bit of a hangover.
Oh.
Quinn Ewers, Archie Manning didn't play well last week. I think that continues into this week, and Vanderbilt pulls off the upset.
Oh, okay. Okay, so he likes old Vandy for an upset. And let me tell you, if that happens, then look out because we will be bringing the thunder. Mondays are our 2-hour show. And just know that if Vandy pulls up this upset, hour one, the college section will be spicy. I'm
It's
just
gonna
gonna
be lit.
I'm just gonna warn you now. All right, so this is actually the
Hello?
game that I want to see. Okay, this is the game that I want to see. LSU takes on Texas A&M. What do you got, bud? What do you got for this game?
It's in Texas.
It is in Texas.
Texas 2.5 point favorites. Oh boy.
Oh boy,
Boy. Let's go look at the stats here. If this game was at LSU, you know what? Yeah, it doesn't matter. LSU's the better team. I'm gonna ride LSU. Better team. You know, I realize it's at College Station. It could be a tough place to play. LSU's just the better team. As good as Texas A&M has been this year, I think this is one they lose.
All right. Here we go, guys. He gave you his pick. It is LSU versus Texas A&M. Top 15 matchup in the SEC. SEC is probably, one of the it is one of the more exciting. Like when you get two SEC opponents facing off, it tends to be one of the more exciting games. And this is not going to be any letdown here. This is a game of the week for me. Game of the week between, number 8 LSU and number 14 Texas A&M. So top 15 matchup right here. Not even top 25, it's the top 15. I like it. This game is going to be a physical matchup for sure. LSU has some big old running backs, but they also have some fast receivers. And the Aggies have been a team that has been kind of flying under the radar, okay? They've been sneaky good, and they're in the SEC, so they get overlooked by Texas and Bama and Georgia. And if they beat LSU this week, that would stop. The under the radar status because you beat a team like LSU and you can't fly under that radar anymore. But let me tell you a little something. I just so happen to know that LSU has probably one of the better offensive lines in college football. And as long as their secondary can contain Texas A&M receivers, which Texas A&M doesn't really pass the ball much. They tend to kind of lean more on Le'Veon Moss, their running back. I like LSU here. I like LSU. Their receivers are real great. They have some fast receivers, but they also have a receiver that can just kind of run across the middle. And he has strong hands, from what I've been told, from a LSU fan. So I like LSU on the road. LSU is gonna, kind of remind everybody, like, hey, you know, I know we lost to USC at the beginning of the season, but you can't count us out. And I like LSU on the road versus A&M. Let's go Tigers. Let's go Tigers. Well, guys, we have one more game to talk about. One more game, and it is Thursday night football in the NFL. We got the Minnesota Vikings going against the Los Angeles Rams. Four key things for this game. Can Cooper Kupp give the Rams a much needed offensive boost? Cooper Kupp returns to the lineup this week. And maybe even Puka Nacua could come back. Or maybe it's next week that he comes back. Brian Flores' defense will look to for a rebound after that game against Detroit. That was the game of the week last week in the NFL. Rams defense hopes that last week, was a sign of improvement, and they can continue that momentum. I know they were playing the Raiders last week, but they're hoping that they can build off of that. And Sam Darnold returns to LA, a different quarterback. Sam Darnold actually grew up just right down the road from SoFi Stadium. Of course, he went to USC in college, but he's a different quarterback. He's not the same. He's not the same Sam Darnold that came in to this league drafted by the Jets, and I'm actually happy that he is not a Jet. I'm glad that they gave up on him. I'm glad that the Carolina Panthers gave up on him, because we are seeing a different version of Sam Darnold. We are seeing the best version of Sam Darnold. I'm excited for this game. I'm excited.
Yeah, should be a pretty good game.
I'll let you go ahead and make your pick. I already know your pick. We kind of ran through the NFL games before the show, but
I actually don't think you know my pick.
I don't know. Well, unless you lied to me before the show.
Well, since then I found out some new information. A little bit of new information here.
Well, why don't you share this information with the class, all right?
Well, I didn't realize Cooper Kupp was going to be available tonight.
Oh, yeah, he is definitely a good.
I didn't realize that Puka Nacua actually had a chance to play tonight.
Oh, okay.
So, Vikings are favored by 2.5. Vikings, in every instance of the word, are the better team. I'm going to take the Rams here, especially if Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua are able to play. It's looking like the Vikings are still going to be without TJ Hawkinson. Jordan Addison's hit and miss. That Rams defense did improve a little last week. It's at home, which, isn't really a home game because it's SoFi Stadium tends to be, just as equal when it comes to home and away fans. I like the Rams here. I think this is where their offense gets back on track, especially with Cooper Kupp coming back, Puka Nacua maybe coming back, and it just has all the makings for Rams getting things right.
Well, bud, you shocked me because I really thought you were going Vikings here, and I thought we were going to disagree, but we don't disagree. I like the Rams for all of what he said, but I like the Rams for another reason, okay? We still have Sean McVay as the head coach. We still have, Matt Stafford at quarterback. But here's why I like the Rams tonight. Teams that faced the Lions in the previous week, insert Vikings here, they, Detroit plays them physical, so they're kind of banged up. Not like banged up, but they're definitely feeling the effects of the game. All right, even going into the next week. This is a short week, so they just played a very physical game against Detroit on Sunday, and now this is a Thursday night game. I like the Rams to get it right, and oh my gosh, Rams win. Niners lose. Seahawks, they blow it in Buffalo. Or, no, in Seattle, sorry. They blow it against Buffalo. All of a sudden, Rams are right back in the NFC West division. You know, right up top there. So, I like the Rams here, guys. I like the Rams. And, you know, Cooper Kupp's coming back. This could be the moment that the Rams turn their season around and make a push for the playoffs. They can make a push for the playoffs. So, I like the Rams. And, you know, I don't know. I think this is where they kind of end all the trade talks of Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp, you know, being traded away, and they get this win and they get things right. So
Yeah.
So we both agree, guys. We both agree. We gave you the college games. We gave you Thursday night tonight. Tomorrow we talk the red. We have 15 games tomorrow to talk about in the NFL. I'm going to be working on my list. I know Steven's going to be working on his list. I know that we're probably kind of agreeing on some. Probably going to disagree on some. That's what makes it great. But we are out of time today, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, listening, making this show great. Continue to follow, like, share, comment, leave reviews. Help us grow your favorite football podcast. Answer the call. I'm Timmy.
And I'm Steven.